Hi Capricorn, this is going to be your archetype reading. I'm going to be pulling one card from the archetype deck, and I'm going to be clarifying the archetype, things that you should be aware of, other people's energies, just whatever comes to me at the time that's necessary for the archetype that you're currently embodying. So let's begin. Let's see what archetype is Capricorn currently embodying at present. Please, universal energy, please protect myself and the viewer in this reading. Two have come out, but I am only going to take the one. These cards do tend to stick together, but I will honour the crone has come out, but this is the king, okay? And these cards I feel it's particularly important for me to read from the book, not because I don't know that, well, I don't know these cards off by heart and all their meanings, but I feel like the author itself is very deserving of what is actually written instead of doing the intuitive side of things. However, once I have done the read from the book, I will be intuitively selecting cards that are associated with that archetype. Alright, so you have the King Capricorn, and this is your current embodied archetype. Alright, so it is the selves, so it definitely is about you. You as a person, how you see yourself, how people see you, and let's have a look at the definition. Straight to it. Okay, the ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king presides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, making decisions and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted. I don't know if I've ever heard that word before, but whatever. vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the king as he is either seated in the benevolence and strength, guiding you towards inner peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of the need to control. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego. Yet, the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility. Knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. Okay. Furthermore, when it's in light aspect, so when it is positively articulated as an energy, benevolence, divine leadership, service, and nobility. When it is dark aspected, it's oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. And then going deeper into this aspect, we have the Dalai Lama, the Indra, Richard the Third, and Macbeth. Okay, so they're ones that you can have a look at and understand the archetype that they are embodying when it comes to this particular sort. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold the image and power. The king is necessary. He is the bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is the death of the ego. Okay, so you may be very much coming, or you may be at a place at the moment where you are driven solely by whatever conflicts are going on in your life. You may be solely driven by how you quickly react to defend yourself, and not actually not shifting that perception to a different view that comes from a unconditional / loving place per se. So let's have a look. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Capricorn archetype, the king. What does Capricorn need to know about this particular archetype that they are currently embodying? Show me what it needs to see for the king. Capricorn, the king. Okay, yeah, so this may be a defense mechanism due to some sort of conflict that's left you feeling a little bit brokenhearted. You could be in conflict at the moment with an individual that you're not seeking any kind of peace with. You're just wanting to leave a heated argument at a heated argument and not resolve anything. You could be very much looking into things that may not be necessary, especially for your own growth. Let's have a little bit look a little bit further. Okay, and it could be very much the stability side of things that you're wanting to have a grounded approach to your environment. You're wanting to feel stable. You're wanting to feel homely. You're wanting to very much make this foundation how you want to grow with it, not against it. It is in your very nature to be, say things from the very heart of yourself, but in this case I feel like your heart may be blocked at some sort of, so the Emperor's actually underneath, and that represents the king in this, in a sense. So yeah, you could be very much just way too controlling over what gets said and done when it comes to another person or an instance, and not allowing other influences that are possibly beneficial to moving forward from conflict, not letting them sort of speak or even allow another point of view across further. Okay, so the Empress, yeah, so the Empress was crossing the two of them cards, and what I'm seeing here is the fact that I've seen the Emperor underneath is that you're starting to lose touch with that nurturing side for yourself. You may be like, things are very very unstable, very uprooted. And we've got the King of Wands underneath, another very powerful figure. So, and that is the King of, like, if ill aspected, can be the King of Ego, you know, like power driven and power hungry and whatnot. So let's have a look further at the, why is the Empress here? Okay, so we have the King of Swords. Yeah, so what I'm seeing here is like, you're actually only, if you're not dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius male, this could be very much that you're in your head too much about things and very much controlling from the mind factor and not from a loving sense of self. The Four of Pentacles underneath is like showing to me that you're not willing to budge on whatever decision or whatever way of thinking that you've currently like formed, based upon the fear of the broken heart, or the fear of losing out in some way, and this here says like there's absolute control factors that are embodying your current circumstances. Now, if this doesn't apply to you, Capricorn, this could be very much somebody in your immediate environment that has control over your circumstances, and what you're trying to maybe fulfill is that nurturing and wanting to be nurtured and loved and cared for and whatnot. But what is hurting the most is like the heart. The Three of Swords there. It feels like the home life is not feeling any more loving. It's not feeling any more not safe, but well, if it applies, but not feeling any more stable. And it feels like you may be at that point where it feels like you're losing that sense of touch, that sense of control in your own loving nature. Depending on what applies, take what resonates. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that was lots. Okay, so out of all the cards that just dropped on the floor, that was the only one that did show up, and after what I just said, that kind of clarifies, confirms like the truth being spoken. Now we have the Magician underneath, we have the Ace of Cups, the Tower, the King of Wands, the Chariot, and the Eight of Wands, and also the Five of Swords. So yeah, that's what I'm saying here. There must be a lot, I'm feeling like there's a lot of back and forth with no resolution. Maybe you or somebody else, depending on what resonates, is trying to offer that sense of loving touch and offer the love to be able to move forward from this, but unfortunately everything seems to be up in the mind and not actually taking ownership of like the actions involved, and essentially not getting anywhere because of the conflict that's going on in your immediate surroundings. So you're manifesting at the moment, what you're manifesting is a disaster. You are, if it's not you, it could be very much the person that you may be dealing with. This would then tell you to take a step back and try to look at this in a different approach. If you feel like you're doing things that are already in your highest of good, that's fine, but it's obviously not working. There is something that needs to be adjusted, and it may be just removing yourself from this situation. Get yourself stabilized, a breather, and distancing yourself from any kind of toxicity in your immediate environment. But yeah, essentially, if this is what's going on, then the manifestation of this is causing the biggest uproar, especially if it is yourself that's holding your feelings and emotions close at bay, and only using the fight words and only retaliating through the ego sense. It's not getting anywhere. If this is a person that's trying to offer their loving side, I feel like you're not wanting to sort of deal with any of that. I feel like you're wanting to be in some sort of power or control, and by all means, if there's something that has gone on in your life where there's been some sort of misunderstanding or deception or whatever the case, then being grounded in your discernment and being grounded in how you deal with this is essential for the boundaries, but it also needs to be looked at for your own sake. Are you coming from an ego self, or are you coming from a I deserve better self, like, and you know, the loving looking after myself person? Alright, let's have a look. Let's do 3 cards, past, present and future, that will give you a bit more of a breakdown on this King energy. Alright, Capricorns. Capricorn, the King archetype currently being embodied. Show me the past, present and future. What's in the past for this current energy? What's in the past for Capricorn? Okay, yeah, so the 4 of Wands has come out again. What's in the present? Okay, yeah, the Star, a card of Aquarius. It's also the card of healing, wish fulfillment, but in this case I feel like there has been heartbreak. So this current, being a major arcana as well, there is... I feel like this has been happening for a long time, and it's just gotten worse and worse. Whatever has happened, that's where that ego has built up this its own, well, it is a mind of its own. It is essentially only running the way you deal with things on autopilot in an ego. So, and it kind of makes you feel like you've lost yourself in a way, because you know that Capricorn is can come across as very cold. But the reason why is because they have looked after and have built a lot of things up throughout their whole entire existence, no matter how small or bigger it is. So whatever has been jeopardized, you know, like if it has been going on for a while, whether it be the home life or like somebody's property, you know, like that, even just like the care and genuinity of that Capricorn has just been tarnished or misused, then essentially you're going to get something that is just the biggest blow up of your life. My mum's a Capricorn, God forbid. So this could be a time where it's like you're shutting yourself off to everybody, and just really trying to understand why it's gotten to the point it has. And at the moment I feel like you're not really feeling the emotions at present. And the last one for Capricorn. Okay, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, see the future, the Queen of Cups, and then the 7 of Cups. So you're confused about why you're feeling like this, because you've essentially shut off what we know we need to feel in circumstances and how we need to deal with them. And what you're wanting and wishing for is to be back into that loving and nurturing and caring and kind and compassionate self. So that's what I'm seeing here for you today, Capricorn. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. Please like, share and subscribe, and talk soon.